Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kazuri Alameen, and I need to come back on today and talk about grief and loss. Grief and loss. A lot of people are experiencing grief and loss at this particular time in their lives. There are 20 million people who are unemployed. Over 30 million people who are applying for unemployment insurance. It's a powerful time in their lives, highly respected. In the last 26 days, I've been affiliated with people who've lost, in those last 26 days, 15 deaths. Let me say this again. In the last 26 days, people that I know who've called me, for one reason or another, have lost loved ones. It's a lot of loss. And even in addition to that component, your typical funerals at this time, is not typical anymore. So I've gotten several calls today about grief and loss, people who are grieving and losing. As I spoke at a funeral today, it took me to another level that I need to come back on the seat and talk about this right now. Grief and loss. Grief is a deep sorrow. Let me say this again. Grief is a deep sorrow. And if you ain't ever lost anything, there's nothing to grieve about. I want to encourage you to best your ability to understand it's a deep sorrow, not superficial. Loss is the fact of losing something or someone. The fact of losing something or someone. Grief is also a thief. But I want to encourage you to the best your ability to recognize this is a season in your life. All of our lives, a season. Another word for season is a time. It don't taste good right now for a lot of people, highly respected. But I want to encourage you to the best of your ability, one day at a time. Sometimes it gets so powerful, you got to take it 1 second at a time. Been there and done that, got 3 t-shirts. So I'm not just telling you something on a video, I've been there and done that. To the best of your ability to maintain your mental health, which allows you to be able to cope with your spiritual and your emotional and your physical health. But wherever you are in that process of your grief and loss, be there. Be there. That's part of the healing process. Whatever you're feeling, you have a right to your feelings. Don't let nobody undervalue or discount your feelings. I also want to encourage you to not let anybody grief compare. What do you mean, Mr. Kazuri? In my years of doing groups, some people are quick to grief compare. Example, well, I lost my dad too, so I know how you feel. I lost my mom, so I know how you feel. I lost my sibling, I know how you feel. That is totally not true. Yes, it's good to have some people who are empathetic or even sympathetic, but don't grief compare. Example, you don't know the relationship I had with my dad, example. So say if my dad passed away, don't tell me you know how I feel because you don't know the relationship I had with my dad. We might not have had a relationship, so I might not feel nothing if he passed. So some people mean well and some people don't, but I've seen this once again damage a lot of people. I know exactly how you feel. Nobody knows how you feel. One of the things that life continues to teach me, ladies and gentlemen, you can read, you can study, you can pray, you can sing, all that's fine. But nothing takes the place of experience. You will never get the depth of anything until it happens to you. And we can all look at the same picture once again and get a different view. So don't let nobody grief compare. Because nobody knows how you feel. And part of the season that you're going through, wherever you are with that, be there with that. Don't deny it. Own it. Be there with it. Because in time, on time, it will pass. I want to encourage you as time progresses and processes. The pain will get better day by day. But as you are striving to deal with your grief and your loss and your anger and your hurt and your pain and your why my parent or why my brother, why my sister, why me, I lost my job. This is very, very authentic. But I want to encourage you to turn as time progresses, these seasons into prosperity. No successful person has had an easy pass. No successful person has had an easy pass. And we all got paths that we need to travel that's been predestined for us. So I want to encourage you, when that comes upon you, slow down, just don't quit. You're going to be delayed, but you will not be denied. There's a difference. But feel what you're feeling, ladies and gentlemen, grief and loss. Grief is a deep sorrow. a deep sorrow. So as I was speaking today, the audience heard me. I'm not about being popular. I'm about being productive. I'm not about trending. I try to give the people something to be able to hold on to in the midnight hour. Grief and loss is real. But so take your time with it. Don't let nobody rush you with it. Because it's a season. It's a season. Example, there was a season that we came to earth. There's a time and a season that we are here now. There will be a time and a season that we will leave. It's a season, it's a time. And what must be done? So ladies and gentlemen, for y'all who are going through this season of grief and loss, uncertainty, hurt and pain, stay up, stay strong, breathe, relax, resurrect yourself. You're getting prepared for something else deeper. But as you're getting prepared in your preparation, know that it's okay to feel what you're feeling. If you got to cry, if you got to laugh, if you want to be able to get angry, that's okay. Because life is going to push you when you can't stay stuck there. Life is going to push you. But it'll push you when it's time, not somebody else's time. And don't allow anybody to put their timeline on your healing. Don't allow anybody to put their experiences on your healing. Some people are quick to do that. I'm going to encourage you, don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for it. Grief and loss. Own it, feel it, touch it, taste it. And I assure you, in time, on time, with time, this too will pass. It will pass. And you'll begin to feel better. Sometimes as you're dealing with grief, you never get over it, but you'll get through it. But once again, we talk about time. So wherever you are, be there, because that starts the healing. Wherever you are, be there. Please hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.